Thanks for purchasing our tool. This is your first step in taking control over your PPP compliance. Remember, entering accurate information into the tool is essential to make sure you're accurately estimating and maximizing your forgiveness correctly. Don't worry, entering payroll into the tool is easy. First off, all of the payroll entry tabs are blue. They are labeled for each period you will need to enter payroll. The entry process is the same for each payroll period. For weeks 1 through 8, only enter payroll in the week if it was paid. This is important as only accrued and paid amounts can be forgiven. Please see our video for further instructions on the Payroll Week 8 Supplemental tab. Now let's look at Payroll Week 1. You will see that I've entered $2,500 in the first blue entry tab. Here, you'd enter all the rest of your employees' gross earnings. In this case, we only put one in example, Michelle Nichols, she earned $300. But you can see that the $2,500 that I entered for the entire payroll period does not equal the $300 that's below. If it were the same, this tab here would turn green. And a box will appear green if the amount you entered here equals all of the employee data below. If it shows red, it means that something isn't correct. Next, you enter the payroll start and end dates. These are important as we use them to properly allocate all of your payroll costs in determining your forgiveness amount. Next, you have a question if the payroll is weekly or bi-weekly. Put in W for weekly or B for biweekly. If you pay payroll on a different schedule, you will need to go to our FAQs to see a discussion of your options. Now we're ready to actually enter the payroll for each of your employees. Starting entering the information in the blue cells below column descriptions. The required information includes employee, gross salaries or wages, commissions, and tips. It is important that each employee has a unique name or identifier, and it must be consistent between sheets. Also, you should make sure that your gross salaries and wages do not include commissions and tips, otherwise you will be overstating your payroll amounts. If you have just a few employees, you can enter them in manually. If you have more, it may be easier to get an electronic copy of your payroll and put the information into these categories and then copy and paste. Now for the columns for state and local taxes, health insurance, and retirement employee benefits. These are not in your payroll records. These are the costs the company paid to provide these benefits, not the amounts withheld from employees. You will need to pull this information from your provider statements or your monthly invoices or some other place. However, these are generally not in your payroll report. Again, the amounts recorded for state and local taxes, health insurance, and retirement employee benefits should be included in the schedule when paid. This may also require you to evaluate if any of the service or benefit periods started before your funding date. If so, you'll need to reduce the payment amount to reflect only the cost after your funding date.